Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. This is so much fun. I think every girl who ever said they were a fan of Descendants and Zombies should create their own YouTube channel and post Descendants and Zombies videos every day for the rest of their life. You'll have so much fun doing it, and the people you will meet, unbelievable, incredibly supportive. You will never regret having posted as many Descendants and Zombies videos as you probably will. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. Every single night of my life I make a point to jump on this podcast and tell you how my day went, to tell you how I feel about Descendants and Zombies, the direction of the plot, how the plot is unfolding. I think it is a really exciting fan to be a fan of Descendants, but who out there is not a fan of Descendants or Zombies? I think it's Descendants, Zombies, or die. That's the point we've come to in the fork in the road. It's either stay a Descendants and Zombies fan for the rest of your life, or, I don't know, die. I am incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies fans. I am incredibly supportive of this niche. I think you are really going to love this YouTube channel, which is why, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, I think you should, because it will make this YouTube channel that much stronger. You will let the world know that you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I am more than grateful to have you here. I am so appreciative of every person who ever said proudly that they were a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And I know that these two franchises have received their fair share of criticism, and I just wanted to do something about it. I wanted to take away all of that criticism off the shoulders of people like Ruby Rose Turner, who I am dearly in love with, and Kylie Cantrell, because they have seen their fair share of criticism. And not just them, but even stars of the Descendants franchise of the past. I think that there has been a lot of criticism shown to the Descendants franchises that is completely unnecessary, and I think the more love and support that we can show these franchises, the better off we're all going to be. I think we've learned and taken something away from all the franchises, all the installments of every chapter of Descendants, all the installments in every chapter of Zombies. It's really hard to believe that Zombies is up to its fourth chapter, Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, which just last weekend was an amazing premiere, one of the best premieres for a Zombies movie, a Zombies chapter that I've ever been a part of. And it was a huge honor to be able to actually review that movie. It was one of the greatest honors of my career, and all the time that I've put behind being a Disney fan. I think this was the best Zombies movie that I've seen in a long time, and it was so fun reading down through all of your comments on different forums for discussion about Zombies and Descendants, and seeing the response that all my videos got for Zombies leading up to the premiere and following the premiere when I started reviewing it. There are going to be hundreds of Zombies videos posted on this YouTube channel. I love posting Zombies videos too, so if there's a Zombies fan watching this video, I want you to know that I haven't forgotten about you. And I'm sure that when I was posting a lot of Zombies videos, a lot of Descendants fans really wanted to kick my ass. And I don't blame you, because Descendants fans out there have a right to their opinion, and they love Descendants videos, and that's what you look up on your phone and your tablet all the time, are Descendants videos on YouTube, and when you can't find them, it really upsets you. And it really got on my nerves, all the people who were reviewing it in such a negative way. It was really a negative vibe, and I don't like that kind of vibe for a video. So what I wanted to do when I moved into this house, along with moving to a home that was 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could have exploded, and I really did that. I signed the lease for this home, and I literally lived 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could have exploded. Originally, I wanted to find either or, and the real estate agency found a home that was actually beside both, and I said, freaking awesome, sign me up, and I signed the lease, and I moved in. And I've been making videos about Descendants and Zombies ever since. I've been meaning to take a picture of it for you guys. I just haven't got around to doing it. My life gets pretty busy and pretty hectic on times. I usually have to run out in between videos that I upload. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you actually have a life outside of creating Descendants and Zombies videos? Tell us about that life. I try to do that, believe it or not, on this YouTube channel, but sometimes, it's really hard to put into words how you felt about living with a guy who thought he was a werewolf, or talk about how you always wanted to be a part of Ruby Rose Turner's life and how she felt so sad when she was turned down for roles. My heart goes out to Ruby Rose Turner so much. And you're going to have to forgive me, because tonight, for some reason, I have a really itchy nose. And I don't know the cure for an itchy nose. So if anybody out there knows the cure for an itchy nose, you can leave it in the comments of this video. And I'm sure all of you are really excited about the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide Tour happening all throughout the summer of 2025. When I was gone from YouTube for a couple of months, I was hoping to get back in time to cover the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide Tour. Unfortunately enough, I get to spend the summer with you guys, and we get to have a whole lot of fun talking about it. And I'm going to be here for every huge moment in Descendants history and Zombies history from here on out. I put a lot of time in behind this YouTube channel. All I've ever wanted to do was spread a message of kindness, and I like to believe that I've done that through the power of Descendants and Zombies, for the music, for the message, the power of the script, the stars, and how much of an inspiration they are to each and every one of you, and how you see yourself through the eyes of people such as Bridget, Red, Chloe, Mal, Sophia, Carlos, whoever you see yourself through the eyes of. I see nothing wrong with that. I really don't. I've loved this franchise so much. I've always wanted to be the director of it. And we've had fabulous people directing this, don't get me wrong, but I have so much creative energy that I would like to instill in the minds of the people who are part of the Descendants franchise, the writers, producers, directors, the cast. I think I could offer a lot of advice, and very valuable advice, to people like Ruby, who've had her heart broken more times than often enough, and people like Kylie Cantrell, who's seen her fair share of heartbreak over the last year. I don't like seeing them on TikTok and seeing them posting these videos on a Japanese site that I fell in love with because of the Descendants and Zombies videos that were being uploaded on it, and just crying over stupid stuff, really nonsense about political points of view and how they're turned down for roles. Let me just say this. I think Ruby Rose Turner is so kind. She is the most genuinely kind person I think that anyone could ever meet or have the privilege of having a part of their lives. And if I ever get the opportunity to meet Ruby Rose Turner, I'm going to take her out on a fabulous date. I'm going to take her to the finest restaurants. I'm going to spare no expense on Ruby Rose Turner. I'm going to send Kylie Cantrell a bouquet of flowers, possibly after I get elected as President of the United States. And on the night of my inauguration, I will publicly invite Kylie Cantrell and the Descendants cast to perform on the night of my inauguration, which is one thing that Donald Trump never ever did, and that's one up on Donald Trump and the Trump administration. I think that when the Jonathan Clarke administration moves in, because if anything, Kylie Cantrell has inspired me to run for President of the United States, there are going to be a lot of changes. I'm going to send a cease and desist order to the TikTok website to have all the negative reviews of Descendants removed. Disney Plus will become mandatory in all homes for kids under the age of 19. And we will have a whole lot of fun. Actually, scratch that. Everybody will get Disney Plus off the President of the United States if you hit the subscribe button. And the funny thing is about that, when I heard Kylie Cantrell's political point of view had been dragged in the conversation, and Kylie actually had to address it on a TikTok live feed, I said, Jesus Christ, this is terrible. That a beautiful girl with so much talent was being treated like this and being reviewed that way. I think very highly of people that you are inspired by, and I always have felt that way. I'm the biggest Descendants and Zombies fan in the world because of it. And, people were trying to tell me years ago in hundreds of emails that I was getting into my email account about how, how much of an impact and how much of a profound impact Descendants had on all of your lives. And I see it now, because these characters are absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. I think Ruby and Kylie are full of talent. And I think talent that has yet to be discovered, because they need more of an opportunity to really expand and to broaden their horizons. And I never ever wanted to take that away from anybody who loved them so much. I know how much you appreciate them. I know how much you love them. And I just don't want to say anything negative about them. So if you want to hear something nice about Descendants and Zombies, you're probably going to want to keep it locked on this YouTube channel, because I celebrate every moment in history for Descendants and Zombies, from birthdays to momentous times with the history of Descendants and Zombies. It could be the anniversary of Descendants, 10 years put behind us of Descendants, and so many fabulous memories because of it. And I will never ever forget all the memories Descendants gave me. It gave me a franchise that I could be proud of for the first time since High School Musical in Hannah Montana. And that's saying something, because I was the biggest Hannah Montana fan in the world. If Hannah Montana had something going on, I was there for it. I was there to cover it. I was all in about Hannah Montana and High School Musical. Biggest Hannah Montana fan, biggest Ashley Tisdale supporter out there. There could have been nobody bigger a fan of Ashley Tisdale than what I was, or Miley Cyrus. And now I feel the same way about Descendants and Zombies, just a little bit more devoted to that than what I ever was Hannah Montana High School Musical. And I do apologize to Miley and Ashley for saying that, because I had a lot to do with the success of Hannah Montana. A lot of stuff that you guys don't know about behind the scenes, but that's a different story for a different time. And it had a lot to do with criticism and the reviews they were receiving within the first 1 or 2 seasons of a show such as Hannah Montana. Completely unnecessary. It really broke my heart, and I found myself in a lot of situations more recently with Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Control having my heart broken because of how they were treated in relationships by their guys, or how Ruby was turned down for a role and she was crying. Meg Donnelly was turned down for the role of Supergirl, and because of that, I've shut the Superman movie out. I'm not going to go see that. I want to say this to Warner Brothers. All your Superman movies are shit, more especially now because you got rid of Meg Donnelly and didn't give her the opportunity to be Supergirl. I think the best Supergirl of all time was Melissa Benoist, and how dare you hire Millie Alcott to be Supergirl in the Warner Brothers remake of Superman for the 100th time. Boo to Superman. Superman sucks. It would have been a whole lot better if Meg Donnelly would have been casted as Supergirl, because I would have been there, just as I was for the Hannah Montana movie years ago. The only guy in the theater sporting his leather jacket. I have this thing where I go to movies and I wear leather jackets. I don't know if it's something that's followed me all of my life. I know my gimmick when I was a pro wrestler was a leather jacket wearing guy. But I have this thing where I go to movie premieres and I wear leather jackets because I get discounts to go to movies now. And I'm a superstar, so that's what I do. But I will not be doing that for the Superman movie this year, because I've got a lot more movies to watch, like Fantastic Four, Freakier Friday with Lindsay Lohan. I have a whole lot of fun. I have a whole lot of fun creating these videos for each and every one of you, and there is no place in the world I would rather be than having the privilege of being able to sit behind this podcast microphone every single night and talking about Descendants for each and every one of you. I love you guys so much. I've had a lot of relationships end because of my passion for Descendants and Zombies, a passion we obviously all share in, the passion that's brought us all together. Long story short, I used to sit down with a lot of girls that they had their daughters and watch Descendants when they wouldn't, because they couldn't make sense of it. And I used to have a whole lot of fun doing that. I used to have a whole lot of fun, understanding what the characters were all about, what the story was all about, how it was going to all unfold. I used to love asking them questions about how they thought it was going to go. I used to love making them laugh. I used to love trying to get into the script. I loved everything about Descendants, and I loved to try to make time for somebody that I was dating, had a daughter that loved it so much, to watch it when they wouldn't. And it was really sad. Sometimes the mom wouldn't want to watch the movie with them, and I felt really bad, and I got caught up with the Descendants, and then they would tell me what their favorite characters were, what their favorite parts were of the movies. It was unbelievable. It was truly, truly unbelievable how much these people would support Descendants, and I just gravitated to it, and I've been stuck in the same position ever since. I don't know where the little girls are that I used to watch the movies with all the time, but I want them to know that they are a huge inspiration behind this YouTube channel forever and always. And thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for bringing this to my attention, the success of Descendants, because it gave me the opportunity to review a lot of things that I never had the opportunity to review before. I used to post a lot of Descendants videos over 10 years ago, and then I had to go away because a lot of stuff got in the way of my life. I was going through a really rough time. But somehow you guys brought me back from out of nowhere. And now I sit on this podcast every night. I talk about how happily ever after does exist. You will find your true love. And I hunt zombies and vampires every night when I jump through my window. And, if this never happened, I don't know where I would be. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention and all the crazy stuff happening outside these doors, these walls. And thank you so much for allowing me to have fallen into this niche, which I am incredibly supportive of and forever grateful for, because this is the niche that made me famous overnight. I was always famous for everything I talked about on the internet for some reason, or on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I've been around for a very long time, so it feels like I'm somewhat of a vampire myself. And I say that because it feels like I've been a part of every generation of entertainment, and especially Disney. And I've been a part of every generation of Descendants too. I was the biggest Dove Cameron fan because of you guys. I'm a guy who broke his arm one night on the way home from his friend's house going through a forest. I took a track in a forest, fell down trying to catch the latest episode of Liv and Maddie, which was a TV series I loved dearly. And I drove my elbow halfway up my arm, and I will forever have a scar on my left elbow because of Dove Cameron, and it's a massive scar. But I'm not regretful of it, because it's just a memory of how much Dove Cameron and all of you meant to me. It was a really spooky night that night, too. There was a lot of fog, and couldn't see anything in front of me. And I had this habit of always, walking, trying to stay in shape if I ever became a football player or something for zombies. And yeah, I was always this really fit guy. So I always used to walk through the tracks at nighttime, and it was really foggy one night. I fell down and busted my elbow up, and it was all because of Dove Cameron. Dove, wherever you are, I love you dearly, man. I haven't forgotten about you. I know I've been talking a lot about the newer Descendants movies, like The Rise of Red and the upcoming Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. But I got to, Dove, because that's what's up now. And people like Ruby Rose Turner, Kylie Cantrell have moved in when you have moved out. And you have claimed that you were trying to leave your Disney past behind you, and you don't want anything to do with Descendants anymore. So it's all up to Kylie and Rube now. I call Rube because I think it's a really cool nickname to put on Rube, and I know everybody out there has a nickname they've had put on them. Sometimes it gets on your nerves. Sometimes you appreciate it because it's what your friends call you and what you remember for. So I gave Ruby this really cool nickname, Rube, and I like to believe that I've achieved worldwide popularity because of it. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with my opinions on Descendants and Zombies and you think Ruby is cool. Oh, man, Ruby will forever be my sweetheart. She is an incredible person. I don't think there's an unkind bone in Ruby's body. And that's what I admire so much about Ruby. Ruby is an incredible person. And I hope she inspires you to be kinder than when sometimes you probably aren't. If anything, Ruby has inspired me to be a better person. And I want Ruby to know that. If she has ever accomplished any goal she's ever set out to accomplish in her life, and God knows she's accomplished her fair share of goals, it is definitely to inspire people, including yours truly, to be a better person. I am a kinder person because of Ruby. I was always kind, but I'm a kinder person because of Ruby. And I think millions of people are kinder because of Ruby. We have 10 million fans all across all social media platforms who have gravitated because of the attention Descendants gets to this franchise, and I can't believe it. I used to upload videos, and I'd get like 1,000 views per video on Dove Cameron and Descendants, and then I moved from Dove Cameron to Kylie Cantrell, and I fell in love with Kylie because of her YouTube show, Hello Kylie, when she would review shows like Sam and Cat, which I was a huge fan of. I'm going to go see Wicked for Good this fall, November 21st, I believe is the date for that one they put on this one, because of Ariana Grande and her beautiful voice, and listen to Ariana Grande for 3 hours. But I remember being such a huge fan of Sam and Cat. That's how I fell in love with Kylie Cantrell, because I found her YouTube channel. And I was one of the very first subscribers to Kylie's YouTube channel. I wish it was still around. Some of the old archives, the retro footage is still up there on Kylie's YouTube channel, which of course is at Kylie Cantrell. But I remember her being one of the first YouTube accounts for a celebrity I followed, and I loved it so much. And as I said, I've been on YouTube for forever, and I've been famous for forever, and this is one of the niches more recently that have made me even more famous. Because of all of you, I know I will go down in history for being one of the greatest reviewers of Descendants and Zombies ever. This is the most popular Descendants and Zombies themed YouTube channel on the internet that you will ever find, I think. The only reason other YouTube channels with Descendants and Zombies videos are so popular is because it's fake subscribers and they don't grow their channels organically, which is what yours truly does. I throw up a video, I go to Booster Juice, come home depressed because the guy who runs Booster Juice's actual name is not Booster, and that's depressing enough, and I have 2 or 3 subscribers, and I'm cool with that. But the 2 or 3 subscribers I get could be like 500 subscribers. I can't emphasize enough how important it is you hit the subscribe button and show your love for this YouTube channel, because Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell at this point in their lives need you. They're never going to tell you that, but they do need you, because 460,000 subscribers on Kylie's Facebook fan page and just a little over 1 million for Ruby Rose Turner is not enough. We need to get them more. We need to show them a never-ending amount of love and support, because Descendants still has a long way to go. Because for those critics out there that are telling you that this story is far from over, you should never believe that. Don't ever believe that. Just as you should never believe they're running out of supernatural creatures for zombies. Because by the time we get to Zombies 5, there will be mermaids, there will be some supernatural creature they'll have to encounter and defeat. And the same thing with Descendants. We've got Liamani Segura coming in to play Pink. There's going to be a lot of controversy, a lot of sibling quarrels happening, and I've had a lot of sibling quarrels over the years with my sister. We've wanted to kick each other's ass for forever. And how many chapters of that quarrel could we have written over the years? I don't know. She never calls me. She still wants to kick my ass, and I'm sure that Pink and Red are going to get across each other in this franchise. So it's going to create a lot of controversy and a lot of unpredictability, which I can never seem to get enough of. I've always wanted to be a villain antagonist or a Prince Charming for Descendants, so maybe you guys can help me out with that. If you hit the subscribe button, I can get in there, become Kylie Cantrell's new love interest, kick a whole lot of ass. I would love to do that because I think Descendants is one of the most vibrant, one of the most exciting, one of the most compelling franchises of all time. I mean, most of the critics out there who are reviewing Descendants or interviewing the stars of it, such as Clarke and or Ruby Rose Turner, are pretty much just sitting in front of a microphone with a piece of paper. So they're pretty much like this. They sit in front of if you notice the interviews that are being done with Ruby Rose Turner and Clarke and the podcast host will sit in front of his microphone, and as he's asking questions, he'll be looking down like this. And he'll be reading the paper, and he'll be reading it off word for word. I don't believe none of that shit. What I believe in is talking from your heart, because that is how you create great videos. That's how you get 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. You speak from your heart. And my heart, I've always believed, is my greatest friend. You're going to have to, my best friend, you're going to have to forgive me because I'm a real sweetheart. And all I've ever wanted to do was talk about Descendants and Zombies the way that it was meant to be and make it fun for every single person who ever ran their finger across my subscribe button. My own girlfriend has never even hit my subscribe button. You guys are the only ones who ever hit my subscribe button. I don't even think she's ever watched a video that I've ever posted. More times than often enough, she ignores me. And I don't know the reason for that. Maybe because I love this franchise so much and she just thinks it's weird. I'll admit to you, I'm a real weirdo. Before I used to post Descendants and Zombies videos, all I ever used to do every night was eat a big bag of Doritos and play every PlayStation 5 video game in existence. As you see behind me there. Don't tell anyone. And hang up Sonic and Five Nights at Freddy's posters in my room. Now, because of each and every one of you, I not only play video games and eat Doritos every night, I now post Descendants and Zombies videos every night. And now this is my life. It's either Descendants, Zombies, or die, or jump through the window and stop a zombie invasion, which I got to bolt out of the window for in a few minutes. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching my thumbnail, watching this video, which I hope you watch the entire video, and you hit the subscribe button because I think you guys are cool. And to be honest with you, each and every one of you, I don't know where I'd be. I'd just still be a loser playing video games. I'd still be a loser thinking pro wrestling was real, if not for you guys. Man, I don't know where I'd be without you. You are the most supportive niche ever, and if there's one niche that I could talk about forever until the day I die, which is what I'm probably going to do, it would be each and every one of you. Man, I was a loser. I went to my high school prom without a date. I don't know. And then 25 years later, everyone who thought I was a loser in high school, I am more famous than you on YouTube because of Descendants and Zombies fans. Because of the Descendants and Zombies universe, Jonathan Clarke is legendary. Dun, 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 dun. Hear that? Yeah. Because of all of you, I am now more famous than any of my friends on YouTube. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. So, if you want to contribute to this YouTube channel and keep making Jonathan Clarke famous and keep Jonathan Clarke on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Because if you hit the subscribe button like 50,000 times, give me 50,000 likes, Jonathan Clarke will become the biggest YouTube channel on YouTube. Of course, that's where YouTube channels would be on YouTube. So, Jonathan Clarke will become the biggest YouTube channel on YouTube, because everybody will subscribe to Jonathan Clarke on YouTube instead of some AI YouTube channel. And then Jonathan Clarke will be found out by Disney. Come to think of it, I got to make sure there's not a zombie convoy going down the road there. Doesn't sound like it. Jonathan Clarke will become the biggest YouTube channel on YouTube, and then Disney will see Jonathan Clarke's videos on YouTube. Disney will realize Jonathan Clarke knows what's up, sign him to a massive lucrative contract. Oh, and that's when everything is going to happen. I'll talk about this again tomorrow on my podcast, whenever I post it tomorrow, because I got less shit going on. But, yeah, Jonathan Clarke will be the man because of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. You were all right. I had to keep posting the Descendants and Zombies videos for each and every one of you because that's what you wanted and you've deserved for what feels like forever. I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you. No, as we look at the same moon tonight, we look at the same stars. Somewhere in the constellation is written, I love you. And more importantly, I want you to know that there is never enough kindness spread in this world. Kindness goes a long way. I know there are a lot of really weird people in this world that don't help it make a whole lot of sense. And I've encountered my fair share of weird people. I've even been with girls who were vampires. But again, that's a different story for a different time, and I had to deal with that on my own. But, yeah, if there's a vampire watching this video, man, I know you. I know what you're all about. I'm coming for you. But besides that, I want you all to know that everything is going to be okay. Because while you're all asleep, I'm out protecting civilization. And because you guys are cool. Just hit the subscribe button. please, I would love for you to be a part of this community, because this community is beautiful, incredibly supportive, and I need your never-ending love and support of this YouTube channel, because Jonathan Clarke needs to be famous, and you guys can help make me famous by just simply hitting the subscribe button, because life is sweeter when all of you are. Having said that, let's watch this really cool Ruby Rose Turner video I found. I love you, Rube. I will be back in a moment. I've got to go pack some sandwiches for my vampire hunting shift tonight. Graveyard shift is never easy. Let's watch this video together, because life is sweeter when you are.
So you're friends with everyone?
Oh, gosh, no. My only friend is Ella.
Humiliating a girl at her first dance, turning me into a monster in front of everyone. You didn't care then. You were off with the prince.
Yeah, guys, dusk is beautiful on this island. Absolutely gorgeous. I would love for you to see dusk on this island, because I live on an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and it kind of reminds me of Oregon. So it was the perfect setting to shoot all these videos for Descendants fans, and I just wanted to create something special for each and every one of you. Every night I find myself looking out through the window. I keep a watchful eye for vampires and zombies and stuff, because you never know when they're going to come in through your window and do the whole suck your blood thing, go all kind of thing. But yeah, I love creating these videos for each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed, I think you're going to want to hit that subscribe button, because every night on this YouTube channel is incredibly beautiful, especially in the summertime. And this year, we're going to be able to spend Christmas together and New Year's. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun talking about Descendants and Zombies through it all. Thank you so much for having made me a part of your life. Thank you so much for allowing me to have become the voice of Descendants and Zombies. It's become very apparent to me that I am now the voice of Descendants and Zombies officially, or at least in all of your hearts. Thank you so much for that. We'll do this again tomorrow night. Keep kindness in your hearts and be kind to one another. With that having been said, bye YouTube. We will do this again tomorrow night.